Grand Rising Tribe, happy Tuesday. Uh, I wanted to give a daily message to anybody that might need it. Got a few tarot cards for us, got some higher self oracle cards and guidance from ancestors, and I also have some karma cards for us to utilize as well. So, I wanted to get an overall energy check in. Well, first of all, welcome again to all my new subscribers. Welcome any old and day one subscribers. Let's see. I want to pull from our higher self oracle just to get an overall message for everything that I see going on. Hope everybody's doing really good. Let's see. All right. Okay. All right. So the first two cards we got were acceptance and change, which does correlate directly. Let me let this plane go by. So our higher self oracle started off the energy with acceptance and change, which once I get into the tarot cards from the psychic tarot deck, we'll be able to clarify that even further. Okay, so it definitely looks like if you were guided to this channel, if you picked up on this frequency, the message is here for you. So everything may not apply. Take what applies, right, and leave the rest for anyone else that may need it. Okay. So let's look into what's going on. Give me a few to interpret the cards. Okay. All right. So it looks like in the very distant past, you were in a state of rejuvenation and rest, right? It looks like you were caught up in the weeds, as we would say in the restaurant industry, right? You had a lot of thoughts and strong opinions. You're getting grounded, right? Because we also see the number four here, which represents, foundation, right? Building stability. So it seems like you went within a bit, right? We see this person meditating here, right? Very tranquil, very at peace, almost taking an inner retreat. So you may have done this internally or possibly externally, some way, possibly went on an actual trip. I see a lot of green. So something was very fulfilling to you emotionally, right? Something was very fulfilling to you emotionally, possibly. You may have reached a place within yourself where, oh man, yeah, where you're accepting. I was going to pull the accepting card, but it flew away. So we're going to say that you're accepting some change within yourself. You're reflecting on some change, right? And in addition with this, going from the four, right, to the five with change and change in financial and material changes, right? So you got double confirmation of the change, as we see with all this root chakra energy, the solar plexus energy from the yellow, right? And because both of the overall cards stated or have women on them, I'm looking at this feminine energy embodiment, right? The gender has nothing to do with energy frequency. It's our physical reality that does. But I'm picking up the energy is almost changing the way that your feminine energy works within yourself. Yeah. Making a possibly a mental change, right? To the way that we see our feminine energy. So it could even possibly be, as I picked up these cards, that you decided to make a change. You decided to make a change with the way that your feminine energy can possibly bring you stability, right? Because in the majority, I would say, of society that I have experienced, I believe we tend, or our society in general, is in this place of masculine energy where we need to be doing and doing and doing to be producing. And me as a man, I definitely have an understanding of that, right? But I feel that some of us are rising beyond and above societal norms, right? So this message may be for you if anything's resonating this thus far, right? You can be born on the fourth day, month, right? Four may be very significant for you because it looks like you had to accept some changes in your foundation recently. Something going on monetarily, material things. You had to change something within that. So this can relate to practical stability, fiscal responsibility, right? But I'm also seeing that this can be something going on internally, right? Because moving forward to what's possibly going on now in the present is you're being asked to choose wisely, right? You're making these choices possibly about your material and financial future. You're right. You're accepting, you have acceptance for these changes, possibly for yourself as well. You may be going through a spiritual awakening, maybe your first one or your 1500th one, but you're going through a change, right? And you're looking to choose wisely with these next upcoming changes. And I do see the sun number seven here. So this definitely seven is definitely a spiritual number, right? It's a very spiritual number connected to what some people would call past the veil, right? Higher consciousness, the subconscious. And if you take a look, you see this gold here, this gold up here in the corner, and I see this one. So it's almost telling me continue straight ahead, right? Stop looking left, maybe looking back. I usually reference left as us looking back at something, looking to the left, like things have gone left in a relationship, right? So it seems like we need to stop looking towards the past. Maybe these changes were tough that you went through. Maybe you lost something. Maybe something was taken from you, right? And I got directed to this release card, right? This tool here is a sacred tool from our Egyptian ancestors. If you possibly have Egyptian ancestors, right? It's time to release. It looks like you're releasing these attachments to the past, right? With this blue, all this blue coming from the past. And then I'll show you moving forward what else I see. But and for now, This blue looks like you're releasing communication. You possibly cut off communication, some type of emotion or some type of mental fog that you had with all these trees in the background, like I mentioned, for starters, right? It looks like you're seeing past the 3D situation of your recent past relationship, most likely financial and material. I really feel this coming on with this five, right? It almost seems like you went from being super divided between opinions, being stuck. If we look at all these correlating pathways, almost different realities, past each tree, past every perspective was something going on. And it was a lot of change. You accepted it, or you're accepting that change is imminent. Change is one of the only constants in our experience, right? So you possibly are adapting to accepting change. Okay. And as I was looking out into the to nature, a butterfly was coming directly towards me. So it can be significant. Butterflies would represent spiritually transformation, metamorphosis, right? So you're going through a metamorphosis. Wow, whoever I'm talking to, it was a lot of change in the recent past. You're being directed to let that go, release it, cut these karmic cords, karmic ties that you may have with the past, right? For 42 is the number on the card, and that breaks down to a six. Six representing balance to me. Balance. Yeah, you're bringing balance into reality. It's time. So this is continuously again. We see this. So you're in this meditative state. It almost feels like you're going through a transformation. It's either happened, depending on where you are on the timeline. It's either happened already, right, or you're going through this metamorphosis now. It seems like you took some time to really look at what was going on around you, the symbols, the intuitive hits that you were getting, possibly adapting and transforming into more of your psychic self, a higher dimensional portion of yourself, right? A better frequency for you that's more authentic and in alignment with your higher self and the divine. All right. In the near future, we have solitude, right? And this would be in the more common tarot, the hermit. This would be the hermit, right? So it means taking time to reflect. The hermit is a very spiritual card as well. I'm definitely feeling it's almost all in one. You went through a cataclysmic, right? Change very recently. In the distant past, you've rested from it, rejuvenated. You're accepting this change, okay? And I'll put this here, right? For you realizing, possibly accepting change and realizing how lucky you are. Or if you're not aware of it right now, the levels, the energy of luck is surrounding you, right? Luck of the Irish, I think of with this green card, and then also this horseshoe, iconically symbolic for luck, right? And this is now separating because we get here to the current, and then we're seeing the near future, distant future, and the ultimate resolution, right? Man, you went through some major changes. You're currently in this place of really choosing wisely, aligning with things that are good for your soul, your mental, your physical, your spiritual health, right? Your emotional health, right? It's almost like you're becoming the occupational therapist for yourself and looking at your quality of life, realizing you need to release it, accepting that change is imminent, inevitable, a blessing, accepting that, realizing you're lucky or realizing it now through this reading how lucky you are. If you really take a second and look back on the things that should have broken you, that have broken you, and you still have the courage to possibly love again, love yourself again, be positive, really stay within your north node, right? Man, when I pulled these cards, I was divinely inspired on what decks to use, and we see that we have so many, and all the messages are so intent. But this storyline is now making more sense as I read it, right? And I want to sit with the wind to see what goes and what stays, right? Because it helps me focus on a message that spirit wants me to transfer directly to you. I see. Okay. So when we come from the so in the near future, you're going to be in some solitude, focusing like the hermit, getting spiritual downloads, getting spiritual alignment, aligning possibly with your North Star, which I call your North Node. And then we also have the number nine here, which is a symbol of near completion, if not completion, right? You're finally getting the message and it's sticking, it's stuck. You know, there's no more distractions, nothing to come in between you or come in between anything that you possibly could be experiencing, right? You are going towards your north node. You are aligning. If we look at these pink, purple, blue colors, they definitely are higher frequency, higher vibrational, moving away from lower base chakras or ways of thinking. Okay. And instead of being distracted in the distant future, you're going to have some patience and planning going on, right? To get through those golden gates that we see there between these two beautiful pillars, right? This is coming from the base of who you are, the root, right? And you're transcending that with this yellow sacral chakra energy, which is for creativity, creation. And if we look, it almost everything seems so harmonious and balanced if we look deeper into this picture. It's pretty harmonious, pretty balanced, right? And then we get to so it looks like I'm going back to this patience and planning. It looks like we found some type of balance, some type of structure, some pillars, something to build towards, right? This foundation from the distant past, it looks like you went further into it and found much more of what you wanted here in these situations, right? And then in the overall resolution that I see from this timeline through tarot is fertility, which would be the Empress, which is the epitome of femininity, the epitome of feminine nature, completely balanced and a part of the entire suit. Kings, queens, swords. I just look at this as, let's say, feminine divinity, right? And it looks like all this change, all this patience and planning that you're going through is allowing you to reach some sort of bliss, almost something that was promised to you during the soul contract. Wow. Right. Bear with me, making sure I'm not interrupting my neighbors. It's a beautiful day outside today as well. Hope everybody's enjoying it. Right. Well, I really wanted to move into these karma cards. So, more confirmation that this reading could possibly be for you. Uh, Actually, bear with me. Let me get these cards. Change. All right. Bear with the background noise. Neighbors doing some construction. You won? So, and as I was getting these cards and picking them up from the wind, I mean, that's definitely confirmation. If we look at things spiritually, right? Try having all this wind blow is definitely confirmation for some of these messages for us. So, if you were looking on the screen and you notice certain cards blow away, that can be definite confirmation for you, right? Right. So, you may be a Taurus sign, right? Some confirmation for you. You may be an Aquarius, right? Your Uranus placement and possibly can be in Aquarius or your fourth house. Your Uranus placement can be in Taurus or the 11th house. Your North Node or North Node can also, your North Node can be in Aquarius or Taurus. I see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Perfect. And I want to verify for this message from the Karmic Tarot planet signs houses. Planets, signs, and houses. And houses. Okay, so spiritually, you're being guided. So, breaking, let's circle back because a lot of information has been coming to me while I've been reading the message. So, wind blowing, if you saw any of those cards, fly away. If you're looking at the camera, those may have been specific messages for you. Leave me a comment and I'll show you where or have more information on those specific cards if you want me to tap into that directly for you, right? But overall, in the distant and recent past, you had some changes financially, materially, right? You've been resting and rejuvenating. You've released, realized you needed to release. You're choosing wisely with that, right? Making these decisions. I see you heading towards your North Node, right? Getting more in alignment with yourself, letting go of distractions. You could be coming into partnership as well. I see these two birds. I see that as loyalty, right? Monogamy, dedication to one another, right? Complete trust. And it almost seems that both of your north nodes are leading you towards each other. I picked that up recently. This can be going on now, some type of partnership. And moving forward to your near future, you have patience and planning, right? Getting things in order. You're going into the hermit, which is some solitude, right? Possibly digging deeper into yourself, aligning even more with your North Star or North Node. And the overall outcome is fertility, the beginning of a new idea, right? Spiritual balance, number three. So we're going here, and what I see is spiritually, your next actions to take would be to have faith in your beliefs for humanity's sake, right? You could be feeling right now with retrograde coming up, things that we thought we addressed are circling back for us to really dive deep into and really test us in this earth school to see if we've really overcome what we've been trying to overcome, right? And sometimes they may come up in this form of outbursts, they may come up in the form of shocking emotional truths, right? Things coming out because the year 2024 is the year of revelation as far as things being uncovered, the truth, a balance, a rebalancing going on in the world today. But circling back, you accepting and having faith in your beliefs for humanity's sake, right? This does align with your Aquarius being in North Node, possibly being the humanitarian, or you possibly being an Aquarius, right? If you tapped into this video, you have to be awakened in some sense, right? Mentally, do not worry about the costs of your hopes and wishes, right? Man, I mean, if this isn't all lining up, if this isn't all lining up to you, then this may not be the reading for you. I will be posting more sign specific, but for now, you've made this acceptance and change. You've accepted this change. You've accepted this this part of yourself. This is why. So it's as we look, she seems to be looking in a mirror, and look, it's not about the reality, but it's about how you see it. And you may be seeing yourself in a much better light, accepting some gifts, accepting what these changes will mean, right? Right. So, practical physical advice. Now is the time to use the most direct way and do it for the future, right? These would be action steps, right? And let me check something as well for you. I want to see if there's any additional messages. Okay, I did intuit those correctly. So right now, what you need to do in your situation, right, would be to have faith in your beliefs for humanity's sake, spiritually. Mentally, don't worry about the costs of your hopes and wishes. Physically, now is the time to use the most direct way and do it for the future. And the outcome, possibly things that you're even worried about, Spirit is letting you know there will be resources to maintain freedom. So you possibly are making a big change, similar to many of us that are awakening during this shift, especially after this most recent solar eclipse. Mentally, success from the practicality of associations, right? So we did talk about releasing, right? Even if it's divine intervention, these things are releasing and shifting from your life. People, places, things. The you that is dying and yet the you that is present, grieving that past self, right? Man, right? And when we're looking at the 11th house, it has to do with freedom, associations, your circle of friends, right? So you're changing all of these, you're changing your circle, right? You might have been enlightened to some ops in the camp, as some would like to say, some opposition, some opponents, some people smiling in your face, and all the while behind your back, not having the greatest intentions. And you may have picked up on these things intuitively. You may have, right? Now getting some further actions and possibly steps that we should take, And this extra planetary card came out, Uranus, which would be the planet of an unusual example of a different way of looking at things, unexpected change, right? Everybody decided to blow away. Right. So that's letting me know with that recent pickup, possibly something unexpected is happening, right? And when we look at our higher dimensional guidance, we have the Astral Realm. This was the first card I was directed to. So it looks like there's, like I said earlier, some type of divine intervention happening for you, right? When it comes to your abundance. When it comes to your abundance. Yeah. Man, that was pretty powerful. So this is really good. And this is making me focus then on our Masters of Light and Wisdom Oracle deck, right? So we look at things vibrationally. Soul Star Ka is asking you to remember your soul is vast. You are being activated and restored at deep levels. Honor your knowing. And when I look at this, when we think about Masters of Light, these are beings of divinity from higher frequencies, right? It looks like you're accepting the change. You're remembering who you are, how you really are a co creator of your reality, right? How you turn your reality into whatever you would like it to be. And then we have generosity, Buddha of the heart, generosity. Be pure and generous in all that you give. As you give, you create. As you give, you receive, right? And I think a major theme for many individuals and souls that are aligning on this higher frequency are to realize that generosity is a reciprocity when dealing with others, but also for yourself, right? You giving that generosity to you, all that loving energy, all that healing energy, you're starting to give it to you, right? We have Archangel Raphael, healing. Bathe in the emerald green rays of healing light and divine love. Restoration is upon you. I mean, the message has been fairly clear, hopefully. Everybody is keeping up and I'm being clear. But it seems that you went through these changes divinely ordained and a part of your path for you to realize some of your power, the abundance that surrounds you, the luck, right? And coming from the astral realm, we have karmic release, healing the lineage boundaries. Wow. And I'm leaning towards now this gratitude, Our Lady of Light gratitude. The radiant light and love of spirit pours upon you. Count your blessings, for they abound. Listens. You have abundance and gratitude. And if you have heard anything of the spiritual community or those among us that are awakened to our divinity, our inner divine authority, abundance and gratitude have always been two major focuses, right? You are tapping in. You are the Earth Keeper. Check out this beautiful card. You are the Earth Keeper, breaking boundaries with Uranus. We saw the whole, almost all of the cards fly off and fly away for us to get to the root, is how I've interpreted that. And then we also have Lower World. For some reason, I was almost nervous to share this one with everyone because when I think Lower World, I pick up on what society has taught me that we've had to unlearn, that this lower world is a bad, evil place and horrible things. No. To me, I'm interpreting this lower world as this beautiful, shady place. This beautiful, it's in its own right. Do you see how it's so dark, calm, serene, possibly, right? This is what I'm picking up from this. And again, this is a four, right? So you possibly tapped into the lower world, your lower self, made peace with your demons, so to speak, right? Accepted those parts of you that are imperfect, that can be improved, right? That need to change, the parts of you that need to change within your surroundings as well. You went down to your foundation, let's put it that way. You've awoken to the truth that you are the Earth Keeper, an Earth Angel, a part of the 144,000, right, individuals. Look these things up if you're not familiar with them. These are terms related to those that have been chosen by divinity, part of their soul path, to come here and awaken others, right? Now, that's just in the game of life. But the reality is that we're here to learn. This is a school for Earth. This is the Earth School, right? Where our souls come to learn these lessons. I want us to have our key takeaway be this fertility, following your dreams, planting new ideas. If you look, her hair is almost the universe, right? Tapping into all that you can be, all that you want to be, and giving yourself permission to be that which you are, right? That which you understand, the ability to possibly share that. All right, tribe. That was a lot of channeling going on, a lot of energy, a lot of frequency. But I hope this helped give you some guidance, right? Look into some sacred stones, right? See if your soul is inspired in any direction to get some higher knowledge, some higher learning, possibly in spirituality or whatever path you'd like to take. All right, tribe. I'm signing off. Remember to stay sacred. Remember, you are the co creator of your reality. Anything that you will can come to be. So keep your thoughts positive. Focus on abundance and gratitude. Be prepared for some unexpected changes, but and for your dreams to come true. For these seeds that you're planting now will grow. All right, tribe. I'll see you next time.